I didn't even need the crystal ball this time around to know that they were going to try and tank the Sonic movie. And it's not just CNN, Vanity Fair. A good Sonic the Hedgehog movie, not so fast. Of course, CNN, Sonic the Hedgehog has problems that better teeth can't fix. It is like they need to protect the women from the Little Blue Hedgehog movie. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42. The one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. And I was just going and doing a quick search of all of the Sonic news, all the Birds of Prey news. And it's like every piece of Sonic news was, oh, it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. And every little bit of Birds of Prey news is like to protect the little women. It's like to protect these women because what? They can make a movie that was good enough to be criticized alongside the big boys like Sonic? Seriously, what kind of message are you sending as the media? What are you sending that you've got to protect the chick flick, that they're not strong enough on their own? Well, maybe if your little R-rated DC movie was half as interesting as Batwoman. People might have showed up. But no. It was a boring movie that the media specifically said, hey, men, this is not for you. And then they said, where'd the men go? Where are all the men? Well, actually, men made up more, so you couldn't even blame them. But still, article after article we're getting are just, box office, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey is neither a huge hit or a big bomb. Everyone is just to kind of soften the criticism of this movie. Why, I wonder? Do you really need to protect these women? Are they that fragile? And here's the other thing I always hear people say, oh, well, they worked really hard on the movie. You shouldn't criticize it. Guess what? They got paid. They're off to their next 4 projects. They don't care anymore. Once they got their paycheck, they're done. They got to do their little press tour. That's why they don't care. That's why I have drunk Ewan McGregor going, oh, yeah, I guess the characters, yeah, I don't know. Sure. And he's asking his publicist behind him if the character is, is a little... how should we say it? A little alphabet representative. How about that? Because it didn't really play off in the movie. You could kind of see it one way or another. But no, every single one of these. Was it a flop? Was it actually a flop? And I've looked at this article before. Was it actually a flop? Well, yeah, it kind of was. It definitely underperformed. The next one. How internet backlash helped. See, and this proves the point that, sometimes we can complain and things are good. That is one of the things. That's why I want to pull up this one too. But no, the world exists on Twitter. And we just keep having article after article. The unfair pressure for Birds of Prey to be a great feminist superhero movie. We've got to, again, protect the little women. Because what? They're not strong enough to make a superhero movie on their own, despite Wonder Woman. And you know what? We'll even go and say, yeah, Captain Marvel made $1 billion.
I just see people, and I just play people. I didn't play Captain Marvel because I wanted to be a hero. I just wanted to be a person.
Yeah. Thanks, Brie. Nobody really asked you, sweetie, but, it's a fun clip to watch every now and then. They have to go out of their way to handhold this movie. It's like what? You want the special treatment, but you don't. And that's the biggest problem with these modern feminist movies, quote unquote, because they're really not. They're basically just a bunch of whiny teenage girls throwing temper tantrums that you didn't see my movie. Why did you see my movie? Oh, it's not made for you. It's not made for you. But why didn't you see it? Well, actually, more men saw it, so you can't even blame us on that one. I say us, the fans in general. But when you just do a Google search here, I gotta just pull up my search results. Was Sonic good? Not so fast. There's just, it's worded so much more harshly than if you let me pull up a Birds of Prey one real quick. Birds of Prey. We'll do it live. Why not? Birds of Prey. The articles. Harley Quinn. It barely recovers. See, it's just they're wording it so much softer than the Sonic movie. It's like, why are you protecting their feelings or something? I mean, seriously, if the movie was bad, say it's bad. If they're actually these strong role models and strong women, they would be able to take it. So this is the biggest problem that I have with a lot of this current modern, chick flicks and this whole And basically the marketing and all the whole fan backlash, fan blaming, all the back and forth that we end up going through is that the women in the chick flicks and these sort of films, the more female dominated and especially the more geek dominated stuff that's really aimed at the much younger geek audience, they want everything just handed to them on a silver platter. And they want everybody to just sit down, shut up, consume, mindlessly consume, because criticizing people hurts their feelings. Okay, we know. Nobody wants to go around and be a dick to everybody. We get it. But when you have to go out of your way and use all of this soft language, the soft wording, right? You can't make this crap up. Sonic the Hedgehog races to 43 million for 100 million global. Birds of Prey flaps to 143. So, you know what? Yeah, it's also been out a whole week longer. It's also done that, and you're going with worldwide. You're going worldwide. So they're doing whatever they can to soften the wording. Sonic crushes Birds of Prey at the box office. Except for this one. This is Cosmic Book News, though. See, this one, Cosmic Book News doesn't play around. They'll say anything. But I guarantee you, had this been Deadline, Forbes, Variety, CNN, all of those other sites, they would have been, oh, well, Sonic sped past, but Birds of Prey was still in that. Birds of Prey, because they're so invested in protecting Birds of Prey, because it meets and matches their little agenda, doesn't it? And sometimes we're just tired of agenda movies. Sometimes we'll take a predictable movie that is what? It was PG. It was a PG movie. So, there. My snap doesn't work. You know, I'll leave it in. Screw it. Sometimes we'll take a PG movie over an R-rated, gory, boring, disjointed mess, because sometimes we just want some lighthearted entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that every once in a while. And the fact that they have to go out of their way to just continually make excuses for Birds of Prey. Just admit it was not a good movie. They don't care. They don't need protecting. If they're such strong women, they can hold their own. But you know what? As a woman, I can say the flip side of this is that, yeah, I get it worse than a lot of my male counterparts on YouTube, on Twitter, on wherever we're at. I get way more brutal death threats. I get way more brutal wording in my death threats than that. You know, I get the ones where they say, oh, we're going to pour acid in your eyes and chop off your head and burn your lifeless body. Yeah, all because I said Captain Marvel was crap and I didn't like Brie Larson's snotty little attitude.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for...
And I still don't like her snotty little attitude. And you know, yeah, if A Wrinkle in Time is made for a certain demographic, or if Birds of Prey, for example, is made for a certain demographic, then why does it matter if somebody says, yeah, I didn't like the movie even though it wasn't made for me? I know she's trying to go off on the critics, and I know a lot of this stuff is they don't like the critics. Guess what? I don't like the critics either, because the critics are now going out of their way to score movies based on how diverse they are instead of how good they are. Now we got to bring up the Rotten Tomatoes stuff too. Now, when you just look at the scores, and I know a lot of people, we never really use them, but when you go to like movietickets.com, it's going to give you the Rotten Tomatoes score, and you're going to see that subliminally, and you're going to think, oh, well, it's generally well received or not. And it does matter. So they just wanted to make sure that Sonic is sitting there at a 64 and Birds of Prey is a 79. Even though I think Sonic the Hedgehog was a much better made film. It was much easier to sit through and watch. It was not something that I was bored and I wanted to not watch and not be in the theater for. And that's the biggest problem, is because of all the Birds of Prey, the dark, the gory, every 5 minutes there's a flashback. They're like, oh, well, here we go. Here we're introducing this character. But wait! We gotta flash back and go back and see their whole life backstory for 10 minutes. Sonic was only, an hour and a half? That's all you need. I don't need to sit there for a 2.5, 3 hour movie, especially if it's gonna be boring and jump all over the place. You know what? If you're not Tarantino, stop trying to be Tarantino. Birds of Prey. Because that's part of what Birds of Prey was doing. And I know this is a little rantier than a lot of my videos, but this just proves the point. They just cannot, and thank you so much for subscribing, they cannot just leave these movies alone, can they, without writing all these little hit pieces? You know, oh, Sonic wasn't that good. Sonic, not so fast. It's not a good movie. All right. Like I said, they're going to find it very predictable. They're going to find it to be very basic. And it is. It's a very basic by the numbers movie. You have your acts laid out. You have the camera held still so you can actually see everything. And there's lighting on things and you can see what's happening. Unlike Birds of Prey and unlike most of these modern science fiction shows that I cover. Oh, I got a doozy coming up here. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am MechaRandom42 and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.